How would you describe the way that this woman is dressed? Casual, casual, or business professional? If you ask me, I would say casual. But just out of curiosity, I thought I'd do a poll to get other people's opinion. Seems a good majority of the people who voted agree that she's dressed casual. We have a few people who would argue for business casual, and that's as far as it gets. But one thing I think all of us can agree on is that this is in no way business professional. Why did I ask this question? What's the significance, you might say? Well, the bank that I used to work for had a business professional dress code. And for a woman to wear this, it would be considered business professional. I really wish I was kidding. So I just want to tell you guys a little story about my former job as an accountant at a bank and the double standards in their dress code policy. So as I stated before, their policy is business professional. Now this was a first time thing for me. Other jobs I've had only required a business casual dress code, but I figured, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I remember for the first few weeks at the job, I wore my long sleeve dress shirt, my choke collar, but I wore dress dockers, which apparently violated the dress code, because during a lunch meeting with the CFO, he informed me that those kind of pants don't count as business professional. Nope, you basically have to wear a full-on suit, just minus the jacket. So now, not only do I have to wear a choke collar, but now I have to wear pants that cause static. Even though dress dockers look very nice and professional, I still got called out for wearing them. Okay, once again, I bite the bullet. I take the attitude, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's their policy, I'll acquiesce. And I can take solace in the fact that everybody has to adhere to a business professional dress code. Or do they? I couldn't help but notice a glaring difference between how men and women would be dressed for work. It didn't seem like the vast majority of women were dressed business professional at all. I wouldn't even call it business casual. I swear, if these women dressed any more casual, they'd either be wearing jeans or pajamas. Here's a picture of a business professional man. You see the shoes, the pants, the choke collar, the whole thing. This is how men are expected to dress at the bank. Anything less is unacceptable. This is a picture of an actual business professional woman. You see how she has the long sleeves, the closed-toed shoes. Now this is a picture of a woman who is dressed business casual. Guess what? Most women at the bank wouldn't even be this dressed up. They would look more like this woman, wearing a thin sweater. Maybe I'm out of touch with the current times or something, but since when did this become business professional? I was given grief about wearing dress dockers, but women can get away with wearing this? Yeah, this does not look like this. Now the bank did have certain days where business casual dress was permitted. If that were to happen, an email would be sent out in advance to let everybody know when that day would be. Now I remember one day when one of those emails got sent out, my female coworker said, and I quote, "Business casual? What's that?" She didn't even know what that was. That's quite telling, and I don't blame her, because quite frankly, they really can't dress any more casual for the office than they already are. For us guys, business casual means that I can take off the choke collar, wear nice short sleeve collared button shirts and comfortable pants, and still look more professional than the typical woman at that bank on a regular day. Now here's the straw that really broke the camel's back for me. There was this loud, obnoxious woman who worked in mortgage, which was all the way on the other side of the building. Her voice was so loud and annoying, I had to wear active noise canceling headphones all day. And I could still faintly hear her while I had them on. Anyway, I noticed that she would always wear a sleeveless blouse. The dress code policy for women clearly states that sleeveless shirts are not allowed unless conspicuously worn underneath a jacket. Eventually, I couldn't keep quiet about the blatant dress code double standards anymore, so I took it upon myself to meet with the human resources lady, of course. I sent the HR lady an email basically describing the issue that I had with the current dress code policy and offered several suggestions on how to make it more equitable. I explained myself as politely as I could and suggested meeting up at a later date to discuss this further. A week or so goes by and I'm in her office with the CFO. She basically says to me, "Yeah, we're keeping the dress code policy the way it is." Yeah, I thought as much, but I gave it a shot. I even expressed how I don't think sweaters are business professional, and they retorted, "Well, that's just it. It's your opinion." First of all, it's not just my opinion because I can give you counterexamples which objectively show the difference. And I'm sure deep down, other people at the bank felt the same way but wouldn't dare rock the boat. And second of all, you could also argue that their view that sweaters are business professional is also just an opinion. But of course, at the end of the day, the opinion of the junior accountant at the bottom rung of the totem pole isn't going to win over the opinion of the executives, even if I'm right and they're wrong. But anyway, here's the thing. That loud lady in mortgage, she is still violating dress code policy as it currently stands. Is anyone going to talk to her about that? And of course, nothing happens with that either. HR lady defends her by saying, well, maybe she did have a jacket, but she left it on her chair. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. First of all, the dress code specifically says that that kind of blouse is not allowed unless worn under a jacket. Nowhere in there does it allow for any exceptions. Secondly, could I get away with that? Could I just take my tie off and leave it at my desk? Could I do that? Of course not. It's amazing. Not only is the women's dress code already way more lax than that of the men's dress code, but even when women don't follow their already lenient dress code as it's currently written, they get a pass? Wow. And as per usual, if you were to look up sexist dress code policy on YouTube or Google, you will find all kinds of videos on how dress codes are supposedly sexist against females. But you never hear about how it can be sexist against men. And that's where me and my channel come in. We talk about the double standards that get ignored. This is the side of the story you won't hear anywhere else. This was not the first time I've seen blatant gender bias at the workplace. I was also a mathematics teacher, and I talked about gender bias there as well in a video called The Educational Environment. I'll leave a link to it here if you want to check that out. But anyway, what do you guys think? Have you seen this kind of double standard in dress codes as well? Do sweaters and sleeveless blouses really pass for acceptable business professional attire for women these days? Because if that's business professional, then what's business casual? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and until next time, I'm out.